So I wanted to talk about the first Care Bear that I got, which is Cheer Bear. And Cheer Bear is, I've nicknamed her Cheerilee after a long debate of whether she was a boy or a girl. Now, um, so I said this was my first Care Bear. Well, the first Care Bear that I've gotten in many years. So this video is going to be a little bit different from my other videos where I talk about metaphysical things or do an unboxing, happy little unboxing. This is a little bit sad, so if you're feeling a little bit fragile today, this might bring up some things, but I think a lot of people could relate to this. Um, One of the main reasons I and a lot of people collect is for a sense of nostalgia. Um, we are childlike. We are enjoying the childlike parts of ourselves, the soft and tender parts of ourselves, the fun and silly parts of ourselves. But we're also capturing happy memories from childhood or simply just nostalgia about a certain product or toy that brought us a lot of happy memories, or sometimes even with nostalgia, that may have been a sad part of your life, and getting those things again as an adult and putting them into a happy context is sort of a way to reclaim those memories. And with Care Bears, that was kind of the deal for me. I collect a lot of things. The main collections that I have at the moment are Zelfs and Novi Stars, which I absolutely adore. And as you can see from my Zelf tour, I love my Zelfs. And I have almost a complete collection of Novi Stars and the Novi Star pets. And I'm still looking for that Doa deer, but I've got all the Novi Stars. And because I collect a lot of things, Zelfs, Novi Stars, Popples, and I was into quite a few different cartoons as a child, there I didn't think that I was interested in Care Bears. The cartoon didn't really grab me, and it still doesn't. And I just thought that, it just must have been one of those franchises that I didn't really get into. But it turned out that I had a little bit of a blind spot or a blackout around that, that I'd completely blocked out, and I don't know what brought it back. Was it following people on Instagram who post pictures of Care Bears, or I think it was actually something to do with somebody who collects My Little Ponies or something like that. I think it was actually before I started my Instagram. Honestly, I'm not sure what triggered that memory, but something triggered something back in my mind where I remembered that I may not have been into the cartoon, but and I didn't really collect the Care Bear toys that much as a kid, but I did have, I think, a couple of them. And though it was true that they weren't a big part of my childhood the way that my Popples was, or Barbie, I had a Sky Dancer, I had a few My Little Ponies. I've only recently gotten into that as well, and that was a similar block. But the Care Bears and My Little Pony had um, some feeling of sadness around it, and they just didn't appeal to me as well. And I've only unblocked that, and I found that this memory came up where somebody that meant a lot to me and that I was very close to, and a big part of my life. They actually gave me a lots of love bear, and they gave me that bear right before they left my life forever. And the loss of that person hurt so deeply that I couldn't look at Care Bears the same anymore, because that person, uh, they gave me, lots of love, with lots of love, and realizing that I would never feel their hear their voice again, or have them hold me, or feel that love ever again, just made that bear that I ended up giving it away. I didn't even sell it. I wanted to give it away to somebody who would enjoy the Lots of Love bear. But I wasn't able to look at Lots of Love the same ever again, and especially as someone who suffers from major depression. That's not a secret. I have that on my Instagram about some of my health problems and my struggle with depression, which is quite common. A lot of people silently suffer with depression, and I think it's important to put that out there. There's a lot more people that go through that kind of thing, and I had blocked that out. That was such an incredibly painful memory for me, that I had this massive block about Care Bears, but I just thought, oh, I just don't collect them. I collect so many things. I don't have to like every single toy and franchise, which is true. But I actually realized that it was a lot deeper than that, and I had that memory that I had blocked out, that it was so traumatic, that of receiving the Lots of Love bear. So over later a decade later, so that's how serious sometimes traumas and loss and grief can be, and why we need to have understanding for people going through depression, uh, going through a breakup or abandonment, loss of family, someone dying, whatever the grief is, even if it seems small, or we were personally able to get over get over something easier than someone else. Everybody has a different path and a different story, and everybody is triggered and hit by things differently than other people. So, therefore, it's really important for us to be kind and understanding that there are some things that people can get over in a few days, or a few weeks, or maybe even a year. And there are some things that 8 years, 10 years later is a sore point for someone. And no matter how much they've got around them, that some of those things, a big massive life loss, can take a very long time to properly heal from. So that's where this beautiful Cheerilee comes in, as I finally got to the point where I could look at Care Bears happily again, and I just saw this one. I actually had intended to get. I love, obviously, being Staria dream and living in my, Sakura tree in the sky on the shelf, and having all of my pillars and clouds around me. I absolutely love silvers and purples and blue colors. They're so gorgeous. Cool colors and dreamy pastel colors. And I thought, oh, if I got a Care Bear, I'd probably get Wish Bear or Bedtime Bear or something like that. But sometimes if you believe in God or the universe or just synchronicity, sometimes the world has something different in mind. So obviously cheerfulness and bright hot pink was more what I needed, because I saw this beautiful cheer bear, and this cheer bear is so big and lovely and plush and body sized, so cute to just squash. um, Oh, um, that's I actually thought I'd get a smaller one, but this one sort of popped up, and she was just so perfect, absolutely perfect. So I thought, okay, I'll get her. And then I realized when she was coming in the mail, oh, wow, this is my first Care Bear in a decade. This is my first Care Bear since the Lots of Love Bear and Cheer Bear. And she's come to bring that cheer back into my life, help me love the Care Bears again, help me love a lot of things again. And I feel that collecting is such a deep thing in a lot of ways. It's not just about the material object, that it can be just fun, and there's nothing wrong if you collect things because they're colorful and shiny and they make you happy and they make you smile, and they're just things to play with, or you just really really love a series and you love collecting that thing. That's fine, but I feel that it's good for people to know that there's a whole history behind collecting. There's the toy itself, the creator, the artists behind it, the people who sculpted it. There's the history of the toy itself. There's the history of, say, like a cartoon like Astro Boy. We've had the 60s black and white version, then we've got the 80s version, then we've got the 2005 version, and they have different feels around them. And so there's the history of the show or the toy itself, and there's the personal history, especially if you're one of the many collectors who finds things in like a op shop, a Salvation Army or Vinnie's or something, and you adopt a toy that someone has moved along, like maybe my Lots of Love bear. Someone out there has that beautiful Lots of Love bear, and I hope that they give them lots of love, and I hope that it brings them joy. Um, and maybe one day Lots of Love and I will come back together, but um, I think that's one I sort of want to come to me rather than me come to him. And there's the history of the person who owned the item and what it meant to them in their childhood, and the memories that attached, and all of the happy memories they had playing with that toy and sharing that toy with their friends or their family. And then you receive that toy, so then you add your own history to it. So I believe toys are imagination, they are storytelling, they are history, they are artistic. There's so much to collect. There is so much to collecting, and that's what the Cheer Bear is to me. Cheer Bear represents that history and healing the wound that I had actually around Care Bears, and knowing, sort of having that physical representation of knowing, I'm never going to be fully happy with that. We always remember those people, and it's always going to give me grief and sadness, which is normal. But I'm at that point where I can look at those things and I can enjoy them again. So when I got this Cheer Bear, actually sort of came in a rough way, which makes sense because uh, she came to cheer up a sort of rough situation. And the seller put her, I will put a picture up of this soon. The seller put her in this too small package, so her dear little legs were poking out. She got ripped in the mail. The package split open. I'll put that up here for you. The package absolutely split open, and when I received the Cheer Bear, I had the little legs dangling out of the side, and they had to put her in the post office had to put her in a new package for me. So when she arrived, luckily she was in good condition, but the package was absolutely torn and beat up and almost got lost. So it was sort of an epic journey to get here physically and emotionally. Um, so thankfully, I'm the cheer bear now. Thankfully, the little cheer bear arrived safely, and thankfully for me, came at just the right moment. And that's something that I believe in strongly, the cycle of life and synchronicity, and not letting other people spoil your dreams and your imagination or whatever you want to do or whatever you want to enjoy. You can heal, you can enjoy things again, no matter how old or how young you are. You can always get yourself a big, I was about to say, get yourself a little cheer bear or big cheer bear. You're never too old, you're never too young, it's never too silly, it's never too much to smile and laugh, and it's never too much to also feel your feelings and recognize your grief and your sadness and give yourself time. And when you're ready for something, you will know. And I think that's really important, that people just experience all of their emotions and we don't shut them down. We don't tell people, well, that's enough of that. Don't cry your head off. Well, they just lost somebody. It's okay to cry. Um and I also feel that we often tell children too much. We shame children for being silly and for playing and for having normal childlike fun. I think it's really important to encourage that and let children be children and let people be people with all their beautiful emotions and let them enjoy that. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Um, and just let me know your stories with collecting. Let me know if you've had a story like that in your own life, and if you have a little cheerily or something that has a special meaning for you, tell me about it. I would absolutely love to hear about it in the comments. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to storytell. I'm here to share, and I'm here to listen to you back in the comments. I would really love to talk to the people who watch my videos and get something out of them. Well, thank you so much for listening to us, and thank you so much. And I hope that this gave you something. And until next time, dreamers, sweet dreams. Sweet dreams.